Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. I think I've got a really interesting video for you today. Recently I had a subscriber, Jason, asked the question, what do you consider to be a big bag of bass here on the California Delta, and how often do you catch that bag? That's a question that has many answers. Everybody will have a different answer for you, and it depends on the time of year and obviously the body of water that you're on. So what I decided to do was head down to the Bass Hole Tackle Shop, talk to my good buddy and fishing partner, Rob Cloutier, and we're going to give you two answers. Rob's going to answer the question looking at it through the eyes of a tournament angler looking for 5 big fish. I'm going to give you the answer through the eyes of a weekend angler going out to just have fun, maybe put more numbers in the boat, but may not be looking for, that winning weight on a tournament. So let's head over to the Bass Hole Tackle Shop. We'll go over this, and I think it's going to be fun to watch. So let's do it. See you guys in the shop. So here's the skinny. I fish about 3 to 5 days a week, and one of the things when we talk about I got a good bag, or it changes from season to season. So for me, Rob, if I can go out, let's just say summertime conditions, and I could put numbers, we have to differentiate numbers from, we're talking just a good bag. I consider a decent bag 15, 16 pounds. If I can get 5 fish with a 3-pound average, and I can do that consistently, I feel pretty good about that. The reason I feel good about that is because if I am consistent doing that, I'm 1 fish away from possibly getting that 18, 19, 20-pound bag. And that's going to win you or give you a top 3 finish in a lot of tournaments out here. With that being said, if you want to be at the top level tournament guy, you're probably going to want to be averaging 18, 19 pounds, somewhere in there. And that 1 fish is going to get you that 23, 24-pound bag. That's going to win you 90% of the tournaments?
Yeah, I say you're in the top 3.
Yeah, you're going to do okay. So that's my feeling. Rob, what do you consider a big bag?
Yeah, I consider a big bag, and we always hunt for these in that tournament, is that 30 plus.
30 plus.
I've had a couple chances to weigh in that 30-pound bag.
Mm-hmm. Couple out of how many years?
I've been doing this since my late teens, early 20s, so I've been doing it 25, 24 years.
You've had a couple of 30-pound tournament bags.
I've had a couple more, and more. Back in the day, the early 90s, 2000, it was very common to see a lot of 30-pound bags, and it kind of dwindled down a little bit here. Last year, I did that Tuesday nighter. I weighed in a couple 30-pound bags twice. I weighed in a 30-pound bag on there with my good buddy Chance.
That's a huge bag.
It's a huge bag. I had 2 almost over 10 pounds with that. So we were on that big fish hunt.
What do you consider a good daily bag?
Good daily bag would be in that 18 to 22 range.
Okay, a little bit more than what I'm expecting, but the same thing I said. If you're consistently getting 18 pounds and you get that 6-7 pound fish, that puts you in the 23, 24, 25 pound class. So,
yes, yeah. So the difference between a great bag and a big bag, what we're talking about here right now, let's just say that the average guy like myself, I'm only targeting that tournament bag when I'm in a tournament, right? If I just want to go out and fish and to explore some new baits and some new water and stuff, I'm just going to go out and have fun. And I might catch that bag, but if I'm not in the hunt for it, I'm typically in that 12 to 14, but just a lot of numbers. You know?
And that's fun.
Right.
So let's say your good bag is 17, 18 pounds. My bag is around 15. The other question that Jason asked was, how often can you get that bag? Well, during the summertime, when everything's leveled out, the fish are biting, and I am on fish, I could probably string together 2, 3, 4 of those bags in a row, 15 pounds, and out of those 3, 4, 5 bags, maybe in a 10-day period, I'm going to run into some fish that are 5 and 6 pounds. My weights are skewed because I'm out here all the time. I get to fish that first hour of light and the last hour of darkness. If I could do that, I'd probably, and nobody else could do it, I'd fish a lot more tournaments because I'd probably do a lot better. So I'm fishing at prime times. But generally for me, if I can go out 10 times and 50% of the time I can get that 15-pound bag, the other 50% of the time I could blank one day. I could get a 12-pound bag. I could get an 8-pound bag. The other 30% of the time I might get that 18 to 22 pound bag. So Rob, for you, you're going out and the fishing's good. You're pulling in 17 pound bags. How often do you get those? How long can you continue to get those bags? And how often do you get that, that 25 pound bag?
Well, and that's tough again. If I'm in the hunt for it and I just want to catch that bag right there, I can get it maybe 1 out of 5 trips. It gets difficult depending on what time of the year it is, everything else like that. Average day fishing, again, I'm on the water, same thing, 4, 5, 6 days a week here. The majority of the time I'm in that 12 to 15 pound range when I'm not targeting a big bag. Again, I'm just fishing, having a good time, and I stumble across stuff. I save it for tournament day and explore it more on a tournament day. But I'd say 1 out of every 5, 6 trips.
Okay, and you're getting that 18 to 20 pounds?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's typically, you get that big bite in the morning, or you're fishing all day and you're getting that big bite in the afternoon. You might get 2 or 3 of them. You have that half-hour window each time, or throughout the day, you just run across them flipping.
Are you fishing tournament periods, or are you getting out early, staying a little later to get that 1 in 5 20-pound bag?
I've been favoring that afternoon bite lately.
Okay. So it's not necessarily during a tournament. It's what I'm getting at. It's probably harder to get the bags that we're talking about on a Saturday or Sunday tournament schedule. You may not get out on the water till 7. You got to leave at 2:30.
Yeah.
So you take that into consideration. I would say for my 15-pound bag, Rob says 1 in 5. I could probably do 2 or 3 15-pound bags in 5 trips. But the difference between getting a 15-pound bag and that 18 or 19-pound bag, it may not sound like a lot, but there's a lot of 3-pounders out here. There's a lot of 3.5-pounders. Once you start getting over 4 pounds, it gets tougher and tougher. So by no means does that mean I'm a better fisherman than Rob, or I've got more experience than him. It just means that it's a lot easier to get that 14, 15-pound bag than an 18 or 19-pound bag.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of times I'm throwing smaller baits where I can catch more numbers, and if I figure if I can catch 30 or 40 fish, I'm not going to say easy, but you catch 30 or 40 fish, it's easier to get 5 3-pounders. You're probably throwing a little bigger baits, maybe you're punching more, maybe you're throwing frogs, and you may only catch 20 fish, but out of those 20 fish, using the techniques that you're using, you may get that 15 to 18 pound class of fish more than I do. So just something that you guys I've kind of thought about. If you don't know a lot of fishermen, you don't get to talk to a lot of tournament guys. It's something that you don't talk a lot about. So if you're ever wondering, you kind of have some background information. And remember, if you guys have a question you want to ask Rob or I, send it to me at scooper, my Gmail address, which is scooper, SCOOPER 9561032 @gmail.com. I'll file these out, and when I come out here, I'll ask Rob the questions, and he'll answer your questions. We'll call it Ask Rob. So with that, Rob, thanks for talking with us, and I guess I got to go home and pull a stump out of my backyard now. But it's been fun sitting in here all day talking to you.
Yep.
We'll see you guys on the river. Good luck.